So guys, EA have released Centurions Team 2, and with that they have given us two new Evos to be able to complete the Centurion Striker, which is what we're going to be taking a look at because it is free for everyone to be able to complete. There is also the Attacking Mid, which is a maximum of 83 rated for that one. So interestingly, it's actually the one that is for 3 that actually has the higher overall capped rating at 84 compared to the one behind the paywall at max 83 rated. So I don't really know whether that one's going to be even worth completing, to be honest, for the Attacker Mid one. And obviously it's cool that you get some new playstyles for that. You get 3 of them for that new one. But even with this Centurion Striker one, you still get a really good pace boost on the cards and also still a new playstyle. That playstyle being the rapid playstyle, which is great. So maybe there's the chance that you might want to go with someone that not only can play as a striker, but maybe also as a left or right winger. That could be a really, really good thing to have. And obviously, ideally, maybe going with someone that doesn't already have that playstyle would be great. If they do have the playstyle already on the card for Rapid and you still want to do it, I wouldn't let you be put off just because you're not going to get that playstyle added to them. But still, obviously, if they don't have it, it's a cool extra additional bonus. Also, the players get a high attacking work rate, but I feel like most strikers would already have the high attacking work rate. I've actually picked out about 5 players that I think would be really good to be able to go for, but ultimately, if you're obviously running your own kind of full team road to glory or nation road to glory or league road to glory, obviously just go with who you like the look of. I'm going to be going with an Italian player. I don't know who fits this, but I'll definitely be fitting one of those in there, although ultimately Girelli is the one that I've been using. It was an 86 rated striker, so doesn't unfortunately meet these requirements. But I think there's some really, really exciting cards here, and to be able to upgrade these cards for free is absolutely fantastic, and the work involved in it is not too bad. Now, this guy, who I can't really try and pronounce the name, is it Garassi? I'm just going to go with that. His Rule Breakers cards, I think, could go up a lot in price because you can put this 84 rated Rule Breakers. He actually fits the requirements for the new Evo. He would go to an 87 rated, and I believe he would go to something like 90 pace and 91 shooting, which is insane. Now, yes, he's only got 3-star, which is a little bit of a shame. He's already got their high attack and work rates. He doesn't have, or I wouldn't assume him to have, the rapid play style, and indeed he doesn't, so that's obviously something cool that you're going to get on there as well. But yeah, okay, the 3-star doesn't take everyone's fancy, and ultimately he hasn't maybe got the best playstyles in the world, but in terms of what his overall stats are going to be, he is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And yes, still maybe ultimately not the easiest player to link into, but if you're a Stuttgart fan, not only is your team doing really, really well this season, but you've got a player who you probably never thought would get to an 87 rated this early on in the game and have those kind of stats, and absolutely amazing. But in terms of players that are probably a little bit more easy to be able to link in, Russo's a fantastic card. She would go to an 87 rated, and Gnabry, who can he play as a striker? He can play as a striker and also as a left mid, so he's great for different positions. He's 4-star. He would be a card that would get that attacking high work rate, which is great if you wanted to play him as a striker. He doesn't really have too much at all right now in terms of playstyle, so getting rapid onto him is going to be really, really good, and that pace and that dribbling, as well as his shooting, is going to be fantastic. So he's a case to use either as a winger or a striker, which is fantastic. Memphis Depay, again, once more, really, really good in the positions you can use with him. He already has the high attack and work rate, but he's got that 5-star skill, which is fantastic. Yes, the 3-star weak for he lacks in a little bit. Got plenty of different traits, but he doesn't have rapids, which is great, and another additional bonus. And Lukaku, I think, would just be amazing to be able to use. I think he would also go to an 87 rated. He would get that high attack and work rate, which I think would just elevate that card even more, which is absolutely amazing. He'd also get the rapid playstyle, which he currently doesn't have, and he'll obviously get that massive pace boost, so he becomes a really good card. Maybe his agility and balance might still be a little bit on the low side, and maybe his stamina might still be quite low, but now he is going to a card that's going to be really, really usable. So they were just some of the players that really stood out to me. I think Garassi is going to be the most exciting out of all of them. Now, his Rule Breakers, was it a Rule Breakers? No, it was a Trailblazers. I don't know if his Player of the Month fits into it. I'm not too sure, but I know that his Trailblazers does, and I think his Player of the Month was similar in terms of stats. I don't know if that SBC is still live or not, but in terms of his Trailblazers, I'm curious to see whether we are seeing an increase on that price. We are. I wonder if 30,000 is the maximum you can list him. I did have him in my club, and I threw him into an SBC, I think, to try and unlock Pirlo, who I'm still in the middle of doing, and I'm regretting that now. I mean, ultimately, I have been only taking Italians in, but with this one, I don't think there's too many Italians that are really going to kind of take my fancy, because ultimately, Girelli doesn't fit the requirements. So for just the fun of it, I probably would have gone with Garassi, but now, if you've maybe invested in him, then obviously, happy to you, and if you do have the Player of the Month, then again, that's great, because although I think the Trailblazers is slightly better overall in terms of stats, that would mean then that the Player of the Month should also fit the requirements if the slightly better Trailblazer version also fits the requirements. So some really cool cards. I think Garcia is the most exciting, but in terms of ones that provide better links, like Kaku, Depay, Gnabry, and Russo are some of the standout players. But let me guys know who you're going to be going for. So I will be going for an Italian player. I just don't know who, because I like running the winger formation with the one striker up top. So whoever I go for probably isn't going to get into the team ahead of Girelli. I'm just wondering now, how many would Ganosso fit into, because I still have the Trailblazers striker left, which I know he fits into. Could I put him into that and then also put him into the Centurion striker? I'm not too sure. That's something I'm going to have to check on. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.